Welcome back to Glamour Unfiltered, hosted by me, Josh Smith. And today we are joined by the new queen of the crown, Emma Corrin. Whoop, 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 whoop. Princess Diana in the house.
Yes.
Yes. How on earth are you building up for that pressure cooker? Everyone has an opinion about her. What's that been like?
Everyone and all the noise being like, how are you going to do this? She's like, it's Diana, Emma, it's Diana, Emma. And I was like, yeah. So yeah, I had to kind of think, okay, how am I actually going to get to grips with this and kind of put aside all of the hot air about her basically and actually just like sit down and just like think about her more as a person, more as a character. And then I did a lot of character work, movement work, a lot of like psychology and figuring out what lay behind the things that she did or the things that she does in the series, which was helpful as well. Yeah. To kind of get away from the like,
the noise.
She's iconic!
Wake up every morning, I'm iconic!
Yeah, iconic!
What was the thing that surprised you or shocked you the most?
About her?
About her, when doing that psychology work?
That's such a good question. I think one of the things that I did with Polly Bennett, who was a fantastic movement coach that I worked with for this, and we did a lot of the psychological journey of Diana together. And I remember early on, she was like, what animal do you think Diana is? I thought, oh, Diana, like, oh, naive, young, like kind of deer caught in the headlights. And Polly was like, sit with it for a few days, think about it. And I was like, okay, obviously got that wrong. Good start.
The school report is not going to be great.
Start, yeah. And then at the time I just got a puppy, and where I was living at the time, we had like a little patio outside at the back of the house, and these cats would come and watch my puppy. You know how cats have this presence? Yeah. And they just sit there and they tilt their heads and they just watch him. And I was like, oh my God, it's Diana. Something about cats that's like...
It's like bewitching and
alluring.
alluring.
And a little bit like, come here to me kind of thing. And yeah, very alluring, very mysterious. And then me and Polly started watching loads of cat behaviour videos. And there's literally videos where cats are like doing the Diana head tilt, and it was phenomenal. And I guess for me that was a start of kind of thinking, putting aside those like, I guess like impressions that I have of her as being like quite young, quite like innocent and like, ooh, everything's new and like quite naive and like quite caught, I guess, a deer caught in the headlights thing, to actually moving towards something that's more complex. There were so many different sides of her that I have discovered, and yeah, I guess that is what surprised me.
What do you think she's taught you about yourself?
Ooh. She's made me reflect upon the fine line that we all tread all the time between our happiness and our sadness at once, and also the importance of recognizing that how a person comes across only says like 5-10% of what actually is going on with them. The majority of pictures, the majority of footage, the majority of news, if you look up anything to do with Diana, will be this incredibly powerful, like vivacious, happy, giving person, which she 100% was, and I genuinely believe she was that person. But is also 100% she was so much more complicated and had so much sadness and tragedy. And I think I spent a long time at the beginning of this process of kind of figuring her out, thinking we've trained ourselves to think in binaries, right? Which is just problematic.
I guess in that sense, it must have been played quite a lot on your own mental well-being in that sense.
Yeah.
How do you look after your own mental well-being?
Yeah, I did. I was like, also because the shoot was so long, so it was like a lot of long days doing a lot of quite intense, like, yeah. It's just difficult, and also because we dealt a lot with her mental health and bulimia, and those scenes were very tough. Just started meditating. That's new. Yeah, I did an amazing course, and at the end of the course they said, don't talk about this to anyone, so I'm doing a really good job. They were
Keep this meditation on the down low.
They were like, no one needs to know that you've done this course.
Oh.
But it's actually really good, and I don't normally, I'm normally quite skeptical about stuff like that, but actually it's made a huge difference to me already, so would recommend.
Yeah.
And that, I think, is good self-care.
And I think as well, she's such a iconic style icon. We use that term a lot, but also beauty icon as well. Like, what is your own journey with this concept of beauty and your own beauty been like? How has that changed throughout your life?
I was a huge tomboy when I was younger. I refused to dress in feminine clothes at all until I was about like 13 or 14. And then I went to a all-girls school, and that was good. There was no pressure to look a certain way for like guys or anyone. So I tend to actually not really use a lot of makeup, which I really enjoy because I like the naturalness, and it's what I feel most comfortable in doing. But also, I'm now like doing shoots and stuff. It's really interesting because I feel like I'm learning a lot about what it can do, and like it's quite fun. But I feel like I'm very late to the game. I feel like I should have had this realization when I was like 13, not 24. Always felt like beauty for me, and when I feel most beautiful has always been when I feel most myself, and that has always been for me like the most stripped back I can be. So wearing the things I feel most comfortable in.
What I also kind of love in the shots today, because I've seen them, I just love how you just sat there and you were like, bit of armpit hair and you don't care.
Yeah.
That is so amazing to see.
Thanks. Yeah, I really like it.
Yeah.
I go through phases of shaving and not shaving. That's the beginning of this phase of it. But I'm now doing my legs as well, which I haven't not shaved my legs for a while.
But I think that's so cool. It's so cool to be like a 24-year-old girl who's out there in your career, living your life, and just being like, I'm natural, who cares? Getting it out.
Getting it out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's nice. And also I love how it kind of still, even though it's just like something shouldn't be a big deal, it's still something that I feel like in a shoot today, like we did today when it's quite like high fashion, quite glamorous, it still jars, which is quite interesting, quite good. Do you know what I mean?
We should just get to it, like everyone has body hair.
We should get to a stage where it's not like, oh, she's wearing a Chanel like jumpsuit, but she's got armpit hair.
Like
scandalous.
So scandalous to quote Mystique.
Scandalous. Yeah. But I kind of I enjoy that.
But also one of the things what I find so crazy about Diana is that she came into the public limelight when she was like 19, right? Like
this really
blows my mind.
Stresses me out because I think back to when I was 19, I thought I knew everything, but I equally was aware that I was so young.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like from 19, especially like 19 to 24, I've done so much growing. I feel like I'm an entirely different person in almost every single respect.
Yeah. How do you think you've changed in that time? What's been some like turning points in like your self-discovery, would you say?
I guess in terms of like, social situations and like friends and relationships, who I want to be, who I want to surround myself with, and naturally a people pleaser.
Yeah.
And so I tend to not. I have such an innate fear of like disappointing people, letting people down. I normally let kind of people or situations walk all over me, which obviously in this industry can be quite dangerous because you kind of need to have a voice. Yeah. For instance, like, are you happy if we edit out your armpit hair? Oh, actually, no, I'm not happy if you do that. I would like to keep my armpit hair in this picture because I think it's important. Me and I like it. Yeah, that kind of thing. Like a few years ago, I'd be like, oh, yeah, sure. Yeah, whatever, I'm sorry, yeah. And it's kind of discovering my voice, I guess, in what I care about. Because I think you discover what you care about and you discover how your relationship to that and how you want to deal with it. I found this out that you auditioned for drama school like 2 times, right? Yeah. And you didn't get it in, and then you got it in. You're now about to be in the biggest TV show, like, of all time, basically. But that's such an amazing success story to say you've had these hurdles and you've overcome them. Like, what did you learn about yourself in those times when you were told no? And how empowering have you found a no? I feel like I'm in a very fortunate position where I can look back on it in retrospect and be like, oh, look at that. I had to go through all that and now I'm here. But I think even at that time when it felt so shit, I honestly remember sitting on my bed getting that letter from Rada. And in all my naivety and, just that golden hue of youth, I genuinely believed I would get in. But I remember I kept it. I kept the letter. I might actually still have it because I remembered that it was kind of the first step in thinking, wow, like if I really want to do this, like how badly do I want this? And if I do want this, then I'm just going to have to buckle up and deal with it. If I had started acting, doing what I'm doing now, I mean, like I would have been such a different actor. I would have been such a different person. And I'm so glad that I had those years. I feel like I've changed so much and grown in a way that has only made what I do hopefully better.
What was it like when you found out you got this part?
I mean, honestly, insane. I actually don't. It's one of those annoying things where I actually literally can't. I wish I could remember everything, like the smell, what I was thinking, what I was wearing. They took me to set well, they said, oh, we need you to come chemistry read with Josh. And they drove me to this like manor house that they were filming in outside of London, and me and Josh ran the scene a couple of times, and then Ben looked at Suzanne and he was like, "Can I do it now? Can I do it?" And Suzanne was like, "Yeah, okay." And then he kind of like got down and was like, "Will you be our Diana?"
Got down on one knee?
I don't think he got. I can't remember if he got. I want to say he got down on one knee, but it was. I think he did like a lungy,
like a nice curtsy.
Yeah, like a. It was insane. I think, honestly, it felt a bit like the world stood still for a second. Because it had been a long time, a long process, and I invested, I really, really wanted it.
Yeah. And you've got it, honey.
Terrifying.
And you got the crown jewels to prove it. Yes! Babes, we're all about to enjoy it.
Yeah,
That's
that's
the
a
best
crazy
thing.
thought. It's
Yeah.
a crazy thought. It's really going to be really strange because it's been like, I guess, mine and like the team's for so long. It's been our thing. Yeah, it's like sending your child off to school.
Yeah.
Or something. Yeah.
Bye, Diana. Have you got
Bye.
you got your pat lunch, hon?
Your baby bells.
Got your baby bells.
bells.
Well, babe, thank you so much for sitting down in my palace
Oh my gosh, thanks for having me.
for a good old chat.
This is beautiful.
And good luck.
Amazing, thank you.
Keep making it rain.
Woo.
Woo!